So what you're referring to as love is a certain moment of pleasantness. If love is true, it will happen without an object. Every moment of your life you must know that pleasantness. You must constantly fall in love with everything and nothing. It all depends what is your idea of love, first of all. If you fell in love with one woman, one bird, one ant, one tree and something, then your love is not driven by anything, you're just falling in love. If continuously you're falling in love only with women, means your love is driven by your hormones. You better understand that. So what is driven by something, you want to label it as love, it is fine. I'm not saying there's no love at all, there is. But what is true and what is not true is not something that you decide because of this, because of what happened or what did not happen. It is a question of how you felt. Whether it ended up in marriage, then you realize it was not love, or it did not end that way and you thought it was true love which was never realized. It's up to you how you want to handle it. But essentially, what love means is, if your physical body becomes very pleasant, generally we call this health and pleasure. If your mind becomes very pleasant, we call this peace and joy. If your emotions become very pleasant, we call this love and compassion. If your life energies become very pleasant, we call this blissfulness and ecstasy. So what you're referring to as love is a certain moment of pleasantness. Now you believe somebody caused it in you, maybe somebody did trigger it in you, somebody did stimulate that in you or inspire that in you. But essentially it is your emotions turning very pleasant, which you call as love. So, if love is true, it will happen without an object. If it's really genuine, true love, what it means is, you have made your emotions very pleasant. Whether a man is here or a woman is here or a tree is here, an ant is here, elephant is here is not the point. You've just made your emotions pleasant. Everything that you behold, you have a certain pleasantness towards it, that is love. Now this continuously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all are women. It's driven by hormones. Nothing… I'm not saying it's anything wrong with it, but you must understand the limitation of it. So, if it ends up in a permanent bond in the form of marriage or whatever, then you think it's successful. If it did not, you think it's a failure. It need not be so. I would be happy if you fell in love with a 3 billion woman, and don't leave the other 3 billion men also. If you fell in love with 3 billion women, it wouldn't be hormonal, it would be just love. I'm in love with all the women in the world, and the men also, the ants also, and the very soil that I walk upon, and the very tree under which we are sitting right now. Whatever you behold, you have pleasant emotion towards that, is love. And love is not about somebody, it's about you being pleasant, truly pleasant. And is this right, wrong, this, that is not the thing. It is an intelligent way to exist. There is sufficient unpleasantness in the world. However carefully you walk, you will step into something or the other. When this is so, you don't have to manufacture your own unpleasantness within you. Only 3 times in your life if you loved, I think you're a misfortune. For the rest of the time, you have not known that pleasantness within you. Every moment of your life you must know that pleasantness. You must constantly fall in love with everything and nothing. Women also included, what's the problem with them? Because you cannot tie a bond with 3 billion women, you choose one. One is convenient. If you marry 5, then you will find it's very inconvenient. Yes? One is convenient, and above all, the reason why you tie a bond with somebody is, at least with one person in your whole life, you want somebody with whom there's no holds barred. If you approach a new person, always there is a little bit of, there's a little bit of war and games happening. War games are happening with a new person. With one person you want to relax, where you don't have to play games. At least with one person, you want to be in total relaxation. That's the idea. Why you want at least one person? That is, still you have not reached a point where you are simply relaxed by yourself, with life itself. Because you are unable to relax with the whole manifestation of life around you, the million manifestations of life around you totally, at least with one person you want to find that. That's the idea of finding a bond or building a bond. So people who look beyond that are people, they don't value relaxing with one person because now they're able to relax with just about anything. They are totally at ease with everything in existence. Now they don't find the need to make a bond where only at one place some relaxation happens. Rest of the place you are warlike, always trying to protect yourself. One place where you can keep your defense mechanism down, because only when you keep your defense mechanism down, something beautiful can happen to you, and the need to protect yourself is gone. So the idea of forming a unit of family and the larger identities of community, nation and whatever else is simply to find a space where you can keep your defense mechanism down in a certain sense of ease, because only in that ease, the other possibility will find expression. Otherwise, you will be just like an animal, constantly trying to survive, preserve yourself. So, love is seen as a possibility to go beyond that instinct of self-preservation, where you're not trying to preserve yourself, you're trying to offer yourself to something or somebody. For that you don't need a person, you can just do it simply with life.
These are not your loved ones, these are your extra limbs. You're not able to stand on two legs, so you need 4 or 8 or 12, I don't know how many. These are extra limbs. And when limbs are not well coordinated, they tangle up, There are 4 or 5 brains, 4 or 5 power centers in the home, and for it to be well coordinated, certain things have to be done. One way of doing it is with an enormous level of connectedness, not emotional. Emotional connectedness just brings dependency. Emotion is something to be enjoyed. It is the juice of life. You don't make your emotions work. You should not make them work. You can make your thought work, you can make your body work. Don't try to make your emotions work. Whenever you try to make your emotions work for you, your situations turn nasty, isn't it? Yes or no? Initially, I love you works. After some time, you're trying to make emotions work for you. The harder you try to make it work, the nastier your life gets. Because emotion is not for work. Emotion is just to sweeten your life. Your thought and your body should work. Emotions, just there. It's like a flower that you wear in your hair. Nobody wears anymore. Okay. You don't make these flowers work. The microphone works. Something else works. The flowers need not work, they're just there. That's all. Emotion is like that. It's just there, pleasant and wonderful. If you try to make it work, if you try to extract some life from around you with your emotions, it is bound to turn ugly. So if you don't have a working brain, if you're not capable of thought, then you try to use your emotion to make it work. and it may work sometimes, that's the whole problem. It works initially and then you try to push it further, then your life turns so nasty, so horribly nasty. Among people who are supposed to care for each other, the nastiest situation happen not among enemies, but among the so-called loved ones. You agree with me? Am I being too harsh on you? Yes or no? So, people have their opinions. If you love somebody, you should have no opinion, that's what love means. Love means you're willing to nurture another life without forming opinions, that's what love means. We are loved ones, we have strong opinions about each other. No, that means you're trying to fix life. An opinion is a way of fixing a person into a straitjacket. Love means nurturing a person into a new possibility. These two things cannot go together. No way they can be together. You make some judgments for the moment to nurture it better. You're rearing children at home, you have to make some judgments where the child is right now, to rear them to a next possibility, not form an opinion on him. The moment you form an opinion, you have no interest in nurturing that life into a new possibility. You only want to fix it in a shell of your opinion. And you will be disappointed if it doesn't go by your opinion. No, that's not the way it works. If you want to live closely with people, it should be a relationship of nurture, not opinionated. It will not work like that. Fundamental mechanics are wrong, so how will it work? By accident, because of the newness of the situation, because it's honeymoon time. It may work for some time, but after that it will not work. So, if truly it's a loving relationship, there should be no opinions, there should be only nurture.
Sadhguru, what are your views on adultery? How does it affect one spiritually?
If there is no love in your heart, you are anyway an adulteress. For convenience and comfort, if you have given yourself to any aspect of life, not necessarily a man or a woman for that matter, without love in your heart, if you have given yourself to any aspect of life, you are an adulterer, isn't it? So am I against adultery? Yes, in that sense, yes, with every aspect. But if you're talking about what is considered socially as adultery, it is individual.
Yes, please.
My name is Anant. My question is about marriage, divorce. I am married.
No, they're two different things,
Marriage what I see today is many youngsters, like many of them they don't want to marry, and few of them who marry, there are occasions where they are getting divorced. So, would you like to throw some light on this situation, Sadhguru?
So you need to understand the institution of marriage. It's about bringing a certain sanctity to the simple basic needs that every human being has. There are physical needs, there are psychological needs, there are economic needs, emotional needs, social needs, variety of needs. To fulfill all these things, we set up an institution called marriage where all this can be conducted in a sensible manner. Otherwise, if we did it on the streets like every other creature, it would turn ugly for us and we will feel not good about it. So to bring some sense of organization, some aesthetic, some stability, because man and woman coming together naturally brought fresh life. It is, compared to any other creature, it is the most helpless life, which needs maximum amount of support. You could leave a puppy on the street, as long as he gets food, he grows up into a good dog, no problem. But not so with the human being. He doesn't need just physical support, he needs variety of support and above all, a stable situation. Whether there should be marriage in society or not, one will debate when they are 18 because physical body is asking for freedom, all right? At that time, everybody questions, is marriage really needed? Why can't we just live whichever way we want? But when you are 3 years of age, you valued marriage immensely, a stable marriage immensely, isn't it so? Yes, sir? Yes. Again, when you become 45, 50, you're 100% for marriage. Between 18 and 35, you're questioning the whole process, okay? Because where the physical body is dominant, at that time, if you give in to that, then it will question every institution. This is hormone-fired freedom, okay? Your intelligence has been hijacked by hormones, so you question the fundamentals of everything. I am not saying marriage is the thing, but do you have a better alternative? If you have a better alternative, damn the marriage. But you have not come up with a better alternative, because a stable situation is a must. For a child, once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. Your whims and fancies will change, your emotions will change. If that is what it is, don't get into such situations. It's not compulsory for everybody to get married. It's good, young people, you are saying people are thinking whether to get married, and I'm glad. It is not necessary for everybody. But if you get into it, and especially if you get into children, you must understand it's a minimum 20-year project, whether you like it or you don't like it. Otherwise, you shouldn't get into those projects. You don't walk into your project, drop it halfway and walk away, isn't it? It's your choice, but at least choose consciously. You don't have to get married because everybody is getting married. You don't have to talk about marriage and divorce in same breath as if they come together. This is a completely an American idea, you're thinking of marriage and divorce together. Nobody thought of divorce in this country till recently, isn't it? So, if it happens, if something happens, something truly went wrong between two people and they have to separate, that will anyway inevitably happen. You don't have to plan it at the time of wedding. Why should you ever talk about marriage and divorce in one breath? It's a crime. In this world, good people are suffering more or bad people are suffering? Good people are always suffering more, yes? People who think they are good, they are simply a suffering. Isn't it so? Please look at this. First of all, how did you become good? He's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, he's not okay, she's not okay. Compared to all these people, I am a good man. From where did you get the idea that you're good? Tell me. You have compared yourself with lots of people and you labeled everybody as bad, and now you feel good. Somebody who thinks he is very good, in his mind, nobody in the world is okay. The more good you think you are, nobody is okay for you. Is that so? Isn't it so? People who believe they are very good people, nobody wants to go anywhere near them because they're so good, no life can happen. Your goodness is only in comparison with something else, isn't it? Yes? And you establishing yourself as good and making all these people are totally wretched people, then I am a really good man, isn't it? Isn't it so? Good people won't get anywhere, either in this world or in the other world. Can you take a joke? Do you have good digestion? Huh? I'm not talking about that digestion. One day, in his previous life, Shankaran Pillai was a good man. After a brief illness, he died. Being a good man, he naturally went to heaven. He landed up at heaven. There at the reception committee of angels, opened his account book. Page after page, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed, good deed. Cover to cover, only good deed. Then the angels were in confusion. Then they came to Shankaran Pillai and said, Mr. Pillai, there's a little problem here. He asked, what is the problem? He said, the angels said, see here we have various kinds of accommodation in heaven, various levels of accommodation. One bad deed means highest heaven, sea front view. Two bad deeds, next level of accommodation, three bad deeds, next level of accommodation, like this. But no bad deed, we don't have such a place. We really don't know what to do with you. You are the first man to come like this. Shankaran Pillai thought, what nonsense. In the world, nobody wanted to come near me because I was such a good man. I lived with the hope of getting to heaven, and even here problem. Then the angels had a discussion and they arrived at a conclusion. They said, don't you worry, Mr. Pillai, we have found a solution. Your body is still intact there. We'll give you 3 hours of life. Just commit one bad deed. We'll put you in the highest heaven. Nothing is lost. Lo, Shankaran Pillai became alive here. Then he sat there thinking how to commit a bad deed. An hour and a half passed away. See, he's not like you, he has no practice. After an hour and a half, he remembered, in the neighborhood, there is a woman who is well beyond her prime, who's been casting inviting glances at him. He being a good man, he never looked up. Now he thought, okay, adultery is a bad deed. Because after all, he's going to do whatever he is going to do just to go to heaven. So he went looking for the woman, he went and knocked on her door. He came and opened the door. When she opened the door, Shankaran Pillai said, I want you. Why, Mr. Pillai, just yesterday evening they told me, you're on your deathbed, what is this? He said, it doesn't matter, I want you. He went in, nature took over, things happened between them. He doesn't want to die in her house. Time is running out, so he told her, I need to go. And he came to the door. The woman came to see him off and she said, Mr. Pillai, do you know what a good deed you have done for me today? One more good deed. So good people will neither make it here nor there. It's not your goodness which liberates you. Your goodness is only in comparison with somebody else. Your goodness being in comparison with somebody else, it's not about goodness, it's a kind of sickness. It's just like, right now, people are going about like this. They are happy, they don't know what joy is. Their happiness is just that they have things that other people don't have. Isn't it? Now let's say, you are all very hungry, but my stomach is full, and I feel so happy that nobody has food, but at least I have something to eat. Is this happiness or sickness? Humanity is suffering from the sickness which is passing off as happiness for most people. Isn't it so? The next dimension in the 7 dimensions is naturally Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana means the abode of the self. When Swadhisthana sadhana is done, it gives you a certain freedom. The word, in this country, the freedom movement was referred to as Swatantra. Swatantra means… Swatantra means a technology of the self. Swa is self, tantra means a technique or a technology, a way to become free. Because the biggest bondage is in the way we are reproduced, and the biggest urge is the way the urge for reproduction binds people in body, mind and emotion. So Swatantra means Swadhisthana and Swatantra connected, that you have found a tantra to release the self from these kind of troubles or these kind of compulsions, because now yourself is totally free. One of the important aspects of Swadhisthana is, if your Swadhisthana is established in a certain way, your ability to create. At the lowest level, it's purely reproductive. At the highest level, you can create a god if you wish. The technology of god-making came from this, because somebody has absolute control over the Swadhisthana, and one can establish what is considered a divine entity. Of all the things that we can do in this system, Swadhisthana is among the most complex and beautiful way of doing things, but it is also personally a dangerous way of doing things, because if you do too much of it, you may have yourself, but you may lose your body. A beautiful self, but no body. This may happen to you if you go too much on it or if you lose control over it. Many who created divine entities generally felt creating one divine entity was good enough and they gave it all and they left with it, or they gave it all and became dissipated because of that. Some retain the possibility of doing more. Only if all the other dimensions are on, one can deliver a god. You can deliver a god and still live and still maintain potency only if all the other six are equally active. Only then one can do this. Well, somebody delivered us, that is also important. We are not saying that is not important. That is also important, that's why we are sitting here. That is also an important aspect, but the highest level of delivery would be delivering a divine entity. So one dimension of Swadhisthana is also this, that if you allow or if you strive to take Swadhisthana above its natural compulsions, which are essentially regenerative, you must understand this. Whatever is referred to as sexuality is not about sexuality. Nature is instigating you to reproduce. In modern societies, people have made it out as if it has a purpose of its own. Yes, people are using it to bind themselves to each other, but fundamentally the longing in the body is to reproduce. If this was not there, we wouldn't be here today. But if you're wanting to go somewhere else other than being a cycle of life, other than being a natural cycle of life, if you want to go beyond the cycle, then transcending these dimensions become important. When one masters one's Mooladhara, which got referred to as Kaya Kalpa, you become like a rock. You want to make the body last for a millennia or more. When Swadhisthana sadhana is done, a burst of energy happens. One can deliver a god, but you may lose your body. If you bring any sound to Manipura without opening your mouth, the very body reverberates the sound.
When one is dominant in their anahata, they start hearing things. A reasonably stable person can go crazy. The moment Vishuddhi is active, you become occult competent. Disembodied beings will naturally move towards you. Agna means there is clarity. The level of freedom it gives you is tremendous. The Sahasrar is total madness. The moment energy stirs Sahasrar, you drip ecstasy. Rivers have been the lifelines of this nation and of every nation in a way. We are a culture, a civilization which have grown out of a riverbank.
All rivers in India are at a dangerous level of depletion.
That means, in another 15 to 20 years' time, most of our rivers will be seasonal, they will not be perennial. If you just fly over India, you look down, you will see entire India looks like brown desert. All rivers are drying up like this. Krishna is not touching the ocean almost 4 months. Kaveri, 2.5 months to 3 months, it doesn't touch the ocean. When rain comes, it floods, otherwise there is nothing. A river which has flown for 1,000,000 years, in one generation, if we kill it,
யாரு காவேரியா இருங்க 60 வருஷம் ஆகுதுங்க எனக்கு ஒரு நாளையில் இப்படி காஞ்சி போனது இல்லைங்க தண்ணியெல்லாம் நிறைய வருது இவ்வளோ நாளைக்கு முற்பாடு இப்போ தானுங்க இப்படி காஞ்சி போச்சு.
And water scarcity in parts of Bihar's Lakhisarai district is forcing people to literally dig up a river in search of water. The last 4 to 5 years, the river has been almost drying up.
With dams, wells as well as rivers drying up in Jharkhand's Jamtara.
a time has come where how to exploit the water is gone. We need to see how to regenerate the river.
The rivers in this nation are essentially forest-fed.
Forest-fed river means precipitation happens. Because of vegetation, it is held and drop by drop, it is let off. It becomes small rivulets and rivulets become streams, streams become rivers. So what do we have to do for this? It's very simple. For every major river, 1 kilometer on either side, there must be plantation. If it's government land, forest. If it's farmland, from regular farming to horticulture. Very easily, we can enhance the farmer's income 3 to 8 times in a matter of 4 to 6 years' time. The farmer will need support, economic and material support, to go through this period and come out as a prosperous farmer. If this has to happen, we must make a policy, we must give them subsidy. It needs resolute political action, executive action is needed, policy. In the month of September, we are planning a river rally, that is, I'm personally driving, covering 16 states, having major events, to create a very strong awareness in the country that the rivers of this nation are dying. This has to be done in a very organized way. Madhya Pradesh is the first state which responded to my call.
मैं सदगुरु जी के पास बैठा था, उनसे चर्चा हो रही थी, तो उनने भी मुझे कहा कि शिवराज, नर्मदा जी बचानी चाहिए और उसके लिए पेड़ लगाने का अभियान प्रारंभ होना चाहिए.
If our rivers deplete in our own lifetime, we are clearly making a statement that we are not interested in the future of our children. It is heartening to see today that all of you, in great enthusiasm, participating in this movement gives us confidence that we are not going to destroy this nation. For thousands of years, these rivers have embraced us and nourished us. A time has come when we have to embrace the river and nourish the river, because the greatness of our nation depends upon the great rivers in our country.
Those in central India have to walk for miles to get their glass of water.
We have a population of 1.3 billion people. I want you to just look at this possibility. No water, 1.3 billion people. The civil strife that will happen. What will happen to human beings when there is no water to drink? You can forget about humanity. Something else will take force. Every human being consumes water, air, everything else, food, land, all of us consume, there's no choice about it. But when it comes to doing compensatory action, very few people are doing it. This is the disaster on the planet. Something so fundamental as water, if rivers stop flowing, large tracts of India will turn into graveyards. If we don't do the right things in the next 10 years, 15 years' time, it could be too late. If we successfully make this into a policy, this will be a landmark thing that's happened in the history of independent India. So this needs to be done right. In such a way, there's no ambiguity about whether it'll happen or not, it has to happen. This is once in a lifetime, not in our lives, once in a lifetime in a nation's life. I beseech all of you to participate in this in whatever way you can. When I say all of you, I mean everyone who consumes water. To have our rivers flowing, to leave this land rich and well is the best gift we can offer to the future generations of this nation. This is not a protest, this is not an agitation. This is a campaign to create awareness that our rivers are depleting. Everyone who consumes water must rally for rivers.
If something in you became quieter, clearer, or maybe even more restless after this video, then it was already worth it. Let us know what you felt, tell us your city, and if you can, subscribe and send it to someone who would appreciate this too. These little actions help the message go further. Thank you, Big Hug, and see you in the next video.